Oh man, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you step into the room, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate it. Well, this is a many topic live stream tonight. And yeah, you see the name of it. And this is an F Your Feelings live stream. This world, I tell you, is getting crazier and crazier. And I'm going to start with the least culpable thing to other things that are going on in the world. First off, I'm going to start off with this clown in Rhode Island. And she's actually a state senator, for crying out loud. Her name is Tiara Mack. And if you've been under a rock the last couple of days, she made a video of herself twerking, I guess, over the 4th of July. I mean, really, Ma? I mean, of all the things that you could do to muster up votes, this is what you resort to. And listen, I understand, before anybody starts with you're only saying this because she's a lesbian, I could care less about that. I don't care if she was a heterosexual woman. I don't care if it was Michelle Obama. I don't want to see my senator, my first lady. I don't want to see my congresswoman. I don't want to see my borough president. I don't want to see my governor. I don't want to see my mayor twerking. And that goes for male or female, okay? They have a job to uphold. They need to do that. I mean, is she that desperate to get votes? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like a desperate attempt to get votes. And it's not necessary. I mean, the only thing that she's managed to do was garner unwanted and unneeded attention to herself. That's all she did. And again, this is only my opinion. I mean, I do not know the woman one way or another. I mean, obviously, that's a whole different state from where I'm from. But to me, once again, it's unnecessary. I mean, the crazy part is, how can you ask for respect when you're doing something that doesn't even garner respect? I mean, twerking, I mean, that's what I normally link to strippers on a pole. And listen, obviously, everybody deserves some type of respect. So I'm not saying that, strippers don't deserve respect. Any woman out here deserves some type of respect. But that is a desperate, cheap attempt, and she is cheapening herself by doing that, especially when you look at the office that she's holding. I mean, you're trying to keep your job as a state senator, and this is what you resort to. It's not a good look. And I'm not going to talk to, as a poor example, as a black woman, you should do this, that, and the third. It's not even about that. It's about right and wrong. It's about smart and dumb. And in my opinion, this is downright dumb. And she's better than this. But, I mean, we'll see how it works out for her come the election time. I mean, maybe this will be the thing that puts her over the top, allegedly. If it is, well, let's face it, we've had worse things. I mean, we've had a dictator for a president, so let's face it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that she will be a much more competent leader than 45 and this clown who I don't even know if he's awake half the time, Sleepy Joe, a.k.a. Jim Crow Joe Biden. So, I mean, it remains to be seen how this works out. I know in some aspects, all publicity is good publicity. I get it, but to me, not so much in this case. Next up, well, I'm going to talk about the Macy Gray thing, and I'm going to speak about this hypocrisy, just not only within our community in general, whether you be in the gay community, whether you're a black man or a black woman. And I'm not going to get into a cis woman and cis man. I'm not getting into that because listen, as far as I'm concerned, you're either a man or a woman. But that I will leave. Well, you know what? I'll bring it up a little bit later. You know, it's very funny that everybody is talking about Macy Gray. And Macy Gray hasn't been talked about like this since, oh man, probably about 20 years ago when she came out and she won her Grammy. And let's face it, we know Macy Gray is not a great singer. At least I don't think she's a great singer. She had one good hit. But it is amazing to me how Macy Gray is getting all the backlash. And Bette Midler was saying the same thing, and no one's even talking about Bette Midler. I guess, you know, you're a certain shade, you can get away with saying anything. And, you know, it is what it is. I guess maybe because Bette Midler had her rainbow colors on this particular day, that, you know, protects her from backlash. And Macy Gray did not. I don't know how clear it is to you guys. But it's pretty stupid as far as I'm concerned. I mean, really. It's all about Macy Gray for some reason. And I'm going to read this first off. And this is according to CNN. Bette Midler and Macy Gray have each responded to criticism. Some recent comments they made were transphobic. Midler was slammed for tweeting, "Women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people or menstruators, and even people with vaginas," her tweet reads. "Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you." Now, on Tuesday, she retweeted an opinion piece from the New York Times and wrote, "People of the world, my tweet about women was a response to this fascinating and well-written piece in the New York Times on July 3rd. There was no intention of anything exclusionary or transphobic in what I said. It wasn't about that," her tweet concluded. I guess that was enough. Once again, she's not catching any backlash, but Macy Gray is. And on Fox Station's Piers Morgan Uncensored, well, that may have been a mistake right there going on his platform, because let's face it, anybody that knows that Piers Morgan is a racist. But, you know, I digress. But she said, "I will say this and everyone's going to hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman. Sorry." On Tuesday, Gray said in a statement to Entertainment Tonight that, quote, "I have nothing but love for the LGBTQ plus and transgender community and have been a supporter since day one. My statement on Piers Morgan was grossly misunderstood. I don't hate anyone," she said. "I respect everyone's right to feel comfortable in their bodies and live their own truth." Now, when I read what Macy Gray said, well, listen, just because you change your body parts doesn't make you a woman. Sorry, I don't know. Well, it depends. I mean, obviously, it depends on which body parts. Listen, if you still have male parts, you're a man. Period, point blank, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I do realize living here in the United States, we have the right to be whatever we choose to be. We have the right to do that. You said that those two statements counter each other. How? How, Princess? Go ahead. Tell me how. Hey, salute Third War Colombian. How are you? How do those two statements counter each other? And I'll wait for your response. I want to know how that does that. And again, as far as I'm concerned, listen, you can live however, we all have free will. We can live however we want to live. But if you have male parts, I mean, let's face it, you're not a female. You're not. You might be transitioning to become a female, but you're not a female as long as you have male parts. You're not. You're either a pre-op or a post-op. I will tell you right now that we have two different opinions, but I do respect your opinion and any opinion. Oh, yeah, well, I respect your opinion as well, of course. And I will repeat Macy Gray's statement. I will do that. And again, I find it really crazy how Macy Gray is getting more backlash than Bette Midler when they basically said the same thing, but everybody is jumping on Macy Gray. And I will repeat it. Gray made some upset after she appeared on Fox Nations' Piers Morgan Uncensored and commented, "I will say this, and everyone's going to hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your body parts doesn't make you a woman. Sorry." That's what she said. Now, on Tuesday, she said in a statement to Entertainment Tonight that I have nothing but love for the LGBTQ plus and transgender community and have been a supporter since day one. My statement on Piers Morgan was grossly misunderstood. I don't hate anyone. I respect everyone's right to feel comfortable in their bodies and live their own truth. Now, she never did say that she hated the LGBTQ plus community, but she made a statement, just because you go change your body parts doesn't make you a woman. I mean, there are people who are men that are living as women also, and listen, they have a right to do that. Everyone has a right to be who they want to be. And I'm certainly not here to change anybody's way of living or thinking, because I'm not qualified to do that. The Most High is. At the end of the day, he and his son are going to be the final judge of how we've lived our lives. Whether we live it as a man or a woman, whether you're a transgender, whatever you are before you're anything, you're a child of the Most High God. So let me put that out there first and foremost. But I was in a chat in another person's on another person's YouTube channel. I'm not even going to bring up the name. And the attacks that some, and obviously not all of the trans women were doing that, but there were a couple of trans women who were attacking. I hate to say the term biological women. I mean, you're either a woman or you're not. I mean, again, it's crazy. Hold on just a moment. If you change the body parts that are considered those of a man to those of a woman and identify as such, isn't that technically being a woman? Listen, you'll have to ask Macy Gray that one, because she's the one who made the statement. But if you're changing your genitals to a woman's genitals, you have changed yourself into a woman. That's why you are a transgendered woman, and that's fine. And listen, I'm fine with that. Again, I am not here to say people should live their lives A, B, or C. I am not saying that. Hey, Claude, I live my life and let others live theirs. I respect people's pronouns. I do as well. Listen, as long as you're not interrupting, you're not doing anything to me. Listen, that's your bedroom, and your bedroom is yours and yours alone. You don't have to answer to anybody. The problem is when certain people, and again, first off, let's start here and there. You can't put everybody into a box. You can't do it. Salute to you, Native Gadite. How are you doing today, man? You cannot put all of XYZ people in the same category. Everybody is different, and everybody does not feel the same way. They don't. And I don't expect everybody to live their lives the same, go through the same things. And listen, I cannot compare myself to a homosexual guy. I cannot do it. I don't live that life. So I can't say, well, they need to live X, Y, Z. I can't do it because that's not me. So for me to say, well, this is how so-and-so needs to live their life, I can't do that. Because again, I can't put myself in that person's shoes. I can't do it. I'm all right, good brother. Thank you for asking. Okay. Now you're saying now the biggest problem is there is a blur in the lines of gender and sex. I mean, that is in how you were born for the medical reasons. And again, every case is unique because there are people who are born with both male and female parts. And they're called hermaphrodites. And I guess depending on what the doctor says and what the parents do, they live their lives as either one or the other. But they don't ever get talked about. So, I mean, there's science, there's the chromosomes, of course, and then there are people who decided, listen, I don't feel comfortable living my life as this gender, so I feel more comfortable in the other gender. And again, I can't say, well, I understand how, because I don't. And I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend to say that I do. Because I'm not a damn hypocrite. Hold on. As a trans person, you can identify as one gender or no gender, if I want to get into that, but be of a different sex. And again, there are so many labels now. It's, listen, to me, God willing, I'll be 53 in September. So listen, growing up, it was either you are a man or a woman. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of these things are new to myself. So again, I'm not going to claim to be the expert, so to speak. So I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you need to live your life this way. You need to do it that way. My thing is everybody deserves to be respected, no matter who you are. But you can't have it both ways and be out of line towards the person who birthed. I mean, let's face it. All of us came from a woman's vagina. I don't care whether you're transgender. I don't care whether you're LGBTQ. I don't care whether you're heterosexual. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you are as a human being. You came out of a woman's womb. And sometimes the disrespect of a female is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean a chromosome female having those chromosomes, not, and some of them, and not all of them are like that. I mean, let's face it, for me to say, oh, all transgendered women treat women a certain way, that's not true. I'm not going to sit up here and lie either. But there is an element of that goes on in our communities. And it's sadder because it's within our community. I mean, we have enough division as it is. The Willie Lynch papers has done a big enough damage to our people as it is. I mean, in some way, shape, or form, there's a division when it comes to our people, and especially our people. Because you notice this doesn't happen, at least we don't hear about it in the white community. We don't. But here in our community, we do. I mean, we are split up in so many, we are fighting so many different types of isms within our people. And then to have this, it's like, I mean, I don't know whether it was a slow day or whether, what happened, but there was just a real backlash in that particular live stream. And what I didn't like was the host of that chat just cut the person off. And everybody knows I'm a moderator for her. And listen, I'm not capable for her because I'm her moderator. I'm on the side of right before I'm on the side of anything. But the fact of the matter is, she made a statement that said, hold it, are we just going to dismiss the plight that how black women are treated by certain people in the community? And she just got snatched off the panel. And to me, listen, it's supposed to be a dialogue, a back and forth. And everybody's opinion should be respected. Even if we don't agree with it, I can agree to disagree with a person and still treat that person with the respect that they're supposed to get. Can you repeat for me the statement by Bette Midler? Yeah, don't worry about it. Bette Midler. First of all, Bette Midler is the last person that should be talking about anybody, because the way she treats our people is an absolute disgrace. But I digress, and I will go back up there for you to talk about Bette Midler. What she said in her original quote was, "Women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even of our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people or menstruators, and people with vaginas. Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you." Well, I mean, that was her statement there. And then on Tuesday, in the op piece for the New York Times, she said, "People of the world, my tweet about women was a response to this fascinating and well-written piece on the New York Times on July of anything exclusionary or transphobic in what I said. It wasn't about that," her tweet concluded. And no problem with that at all. But it's amazing, once again, how Macy Gray is catching all the backlash. And Bette Midler basically said the same thing. And no one goes after her. I mean, you can't pick and choose your battles. You either go after both or go after none, as far as I'm concerned. And I have a question for you, Yukio. Who do you think made, well, and I don't know whether one statement was worse than the other, but they're kind of different statements. Explain. Or at least my gathering. Man, Bette Midler looks like she got punched in the nose, let me tell you. But I digress. I mean, the fact of the matter is, yeah, well, just because I know how it goes, it doesn't make it any better. I mean, Macy Gray is catching all the smoke, and Bette Midler, mind you, this is the same Bette Midler who on Joe Jackson's death celebrated. Keep that in mind. Ms. Midler is, I know what she's addressing. She's addressing, of course, Roe versus Wade. And see, there's that word again. Cis women. But, no, and I know, I mean, obviously, I mean, this is bigger than any of us. We know that. However, what she's saying still doesn't come off well at all to me. Now, if she was saying that the Supreme Court, women are under attack from the Supreme Court because of the overturning of Roe versus Wade, I mean, she would have somewhat of a point. I mean, listen, I don't know how the LGBT community feels about that. I have no idea. So I am not going to speak for them. I can't speak for them because I don't know. And again, not every LGBTQ plus person is going to think the same way. Some of the problem is we like to put people in neat boxes where everybody is different. I said it in that way because we're talking on people born female. Trans women and cis women are different. And I'm trying to speak on the latter because they are the ones affected. No, I understand that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, Roe versus Wade specifically talks about, and I'm still trying to get used to the term cis women. I mean, listen, again, you're either a woman or you're not. But I mean, and listen, you're either a trans woman or you're biologically a female. But I guess that's just another way of saying it. That's all. And I just have to get used to it. And see, that's the thing that drives me crazy too. Because there are certain trans women, and again, not all of them, but some, who just go out of their way to attack biological born female women. And that's ridiculous. Why would you want to hate the people that actually birthed all of us? That makes absolutely no sense. And in that aspect, I feel that's the same way as the black manosphere who talk garbage about the black woman, which is it's so stupid. How some of these men talk about women is absolutely ridiculous. When we all came from a black woman, it's absolutely ridiculous. It felt like she came for the LGBTQ plus community a bit more than the misogynists and the idiots that are limiting the rights of women. Well, I will say one thing. I think one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. I think for Bette Midler to even bring up the LGBTQ community and Roe versus Wade, that's two different things. I think she's fighting two different battles, and one is a battle that doesn't really need to be fought, and one definitely needs to be fought. The Roe v. Wade battle is a battle that, and listen, I'm pro-life, but I think that Roe v. Wade is important. Roe v. Wade is important because, and that's your issue with it. I get it. I mean, she's coming for I hope that I'm getting this right. Yukio loves you. I hope I'm getting this right, that and that we're on the same page in this aspect. Bette Midler picked a fight with the LGBTQ plus community when there didn't need to be one. And she had every right to talk about the Supreme Court and the overturning of Roe v. Wade. But for her to lump in the LGBTQ plus community into it, she was out of line. Is that where you're coming from? And you can just let me know yes or no, and why. But because if that's the case, we're on the same page. Because that wasn't even necessary for her to include them. But, and then try to backwalk and talk about I'm a friend to the community. Well, okay, whatever. And again, at the end of the day, everybody deserves to be heard. And everybody deserves to live their life the way they feel to live it. We all have free will. But my problem is, if I disagree with a certain thing, that doesn't make me, that word gets passed around like a football or a frisbee sometimes. If I disagree with something that someone says, that shouldn't automatically make me homophobic or transphobic. I mean, we can be two people who disagree with certain things. And that's that. That doesn't mean, oh man, I can't stand you and you don't have, everybody has a right to live their life. There's misogyny in the LGBTQ plus community, undoubtedly, but they are not the ones who overturned that law. Does it need to be addressed? Absolutely. But then we're on the same page. We're absolutely on the same page. If she had dealt with just the Roe v. Wade portion and the Supreme Court, that's fine. We're both on the same page with that. And again, I'm not going to try and tell people, well, because I can't relate. I can't relate to the LGBTQ plus community. Can I respect them? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? They're human beings. Why would I not respect them? I respect everyone who respects me. Now, if you disrespect me and mine, we have a huge problem. And I don't care who you are. And I certainly don't respect anybody who cannot respect all women, especially considering we all came from a woman. That is extremely foolish. And again, this is not limited to the LGBTQ plus community. It's not. Or the trans community. First of all, everyone in that community doesn't do that. So again, for me to lump everybody into one box is not fair and it's not true. And one thing I'm not going to do is spread a bunch of lies. But there are certain people that need to be held accountable when they are disrespecting all women. Especially considering that they gave them life. There is no life without a woman's womb. Period, point blank. It's not. And for that to be disrespected in any way, shape, or form is an absolute disgrace. I don't care who you are. Yeah, well, that's the point I'm making as well. Because everybody is different. And it takes different people to make up a world. And at the same, listen, you can cape for certain individuals all you want, but if they're wrong, they're wrong. And listen, I cannot tell that man how to run his platform, but he was dead wrong what he did. You can't ask somebody to respect your thoughts, and you're not respecting the very thoughts of the people that you need to have as allies. You can't do that. You're wrong as two left shoes. With all the craziness that is going on right now, I mean, look at the monkeypoxes. That's going to be another epidemic. We haven't even gotten over the epidemic of COVID. Prices are going up when it comes to food and gas. I mean, it's hard to even keep a roof over your head. With all the craziness that's going on, we're still separating ourselves and we're still disrespecting ourselves as a people. And it's just ridiculous. And listen, everybody, again, they have a right to live their life the way they want to live it. I get it. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, they need to. No. But what I can say is everybody does have the right to be respected, especially the black women who birthed these very same people. For them to turn around and give them their ass to kiss is definitely wrong. Can't do it. And it's amazing how some of us take the blame for all the BS. Now, is there a segment of heterosexual black men that have acted, disgusting towards the gay community? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit up here and say there hasn't been. Has there been an element of the transgender community who have tried to so-called trick heterosexual men? That has happened as well. Of course it has. But listen, it's all about accountability. We are all accountable for our actions and our actions alone. Some trans men and women do call cis women childbirthers and menstruators. And it does rub me the wrong way, but there's a context because sometimes it's used to different. Yeah. I mean, and again, that depends on the person. That absolutely depends on that particular person. And it also depends on whether that woman is comfortable with that trans man or trans woman calling you a cis woman. Because there has to be a level of comfort in order to even use that. Because I'm pretty sure that not everyone is comfortable with them doing that. They're not. And vice versa. But again, at the end of the day, respect is due everybody as long as they're respectful towards you. I mean, speaking for myself, I'm certainly not looking to be like, yeah, hey, so I mean, it's stupid. I worry about me and mine. I don't worry. I mean, of course, I try to treat people with the respect, that I want to be treated. But you know what? When those people, when anybody, I don't care who it is, steps out of line, I'm going to handle the situation accordingly. Well, again, we're on the same page with that. If she had went up against the Supreme Court, the people who actually overturned it, then if she had just kept it with that, she would have been all right. But the minute that she picked an unnecessary, and listen, like you said, there was a time and place for that. That wasn't a time and a place. She tried to lump two coals together and make a diamond, and she failed miserably. that makes more sense. That makes absolutely more sense. And you're absolutely right. There are definitely layers to it. There are a lot of layers to it. Hey, S. Hutchinson Green Section, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. Now, you said she wasn't the person to say it either. You know what? You're right. She wasn't. She absolutely wasn't. And let's face it, I'll even go one step further. See, once again, these are two people, in my opinion, who just wanted to be relevant because no one's talking about it. Because Macy Gray hasn't been relevant since, I guess she did Training Day. I mean, that's the last thing I remember doing. Bette Midler. I mean, she did The Rose, I guess, many moons ago. And Bette Midler hasn't been relevant since she sang Hero, and Gladys Knight sang it better, but that's just my opinion. A person from that community is the best candidate, to be quite honest. Yeah, well, again, I can't disagree or agree on that. I know I can agree that Bette Midler's not the person to say it. Or Macy Gray, for that matter. Neither one of them are. And listen, your opinion is definitely valid. It is definitely valid. You know, our people sometimes, man, we fight, you know, we have to fight from all angles. And listen, the black man's fight is a different fight from the black woman's fight. A black lesbian's fight is different from a black homosexual male's fight. There are different fights. At the end of the day, we have to learn, even if we don't always agree, we have to learn to respect each other. Especially our people. And yes, there are. Listen, oh man, let me read that. I say that because let's put it like this. There are issues in our community as black people. Absolutely there are. Would you want to hear from someone outside of it or inside of it? You already know the answer to that. And listen, that's part of our problem as it is. We've invited so many people to the damn cookout. That's why you have idiots like J-Ho that can say the ignorant stuff that she can say, talk about why only black women. And when it comes to Forbes giving I think it was J.P. Morgan. I want to make sure that that's right. Just a moment. Let me get to that because I don't want to leave that out because she's a damn fool. I'm really sick of J-Lo. I'm sick of her. She really... Give me just one moment. Thank you so much. Yeah, I remember she tried to call. First off, remember a couple of years ago, she tried to use the term Bronx girl magic, knowing that the term is black girl magic. She just stays. She's a cultural vulture to the highest degree. We already know that. And then the scholarship, and I forgot what school it is. It was Goldman Sachs, excuse me. J-Lo was upset that Goldman Sachs decided to have $100 million funding for black women. Instead of just keeping her mouth shut, she wants to go, I would love for you guys to do the same for Latinas as well. We can't have shit to ourselves, can we? Gee whiz. Yeah, these so-called celebrities. I mean, and she's a phony. She's also one of those people who, when she needs a couple of dollars, let's go to the black community and do a rhyme with Ja Rule or something. When she gets a couple of dollars over lunch money, I gotta run back to Ben Affleck. But that's, I'm just. Listen, do they? Of course they do, but don't hate on us. I mean, damn. I mean, Goldman Sachs decided to do a scholarship. I mean, bitch ass Goya to give you a scholarship. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I told you it was a fucking feelings live stream. I had to get something in there. Jeez. No, I mean, maybe Goldman Sachs will do something in the future. Or maybe another. I mean, how about asking Forbes or somebody like that? Ask somebody else to do something for. Hey, bitch, why don't you do it? I mean, damn, J Ho. Get your mouth off Ben Affleck, and why don't you set up a scholarship? So waiting for somebody else to do it. How about that? Oh, God. But you know what? Whatever it takes to stay relevant, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that's what it is. But listen, the self-hate when it comes to our people is definitely real in some way, shape, or form. But listen, some people in the LGBTQ community, you don't get to hate on black women and skate on that. You don't do it. Especially when you come from a black woman. Before you were anything. Before you were a trans anything. Before you were a gay anything. Before you were a man. Before you were a woman. You came out of that black woman's womb. And for that to be disrespected is an absolute disgrace. I don't care who you are. You could be part of Black Manosphere, so to speak. First, they're huge clowns as well. Listen, I mean, we need each other. That again, I know I've said it a million times. Well, here comes 1,000,001. Damn it. The black man is not going anywhere without that black woman, and that black woman is not going anywhere without that black man. I mean, that's just as serious and as true as it gets. Of course. First of all, you should wipe that singer out. Because let's face it, J-Lo can't sing. Is she a good dancer? She's pretty decent. Actress, well, okay. Yeah, she acts like she's white. That's about it. I've never been a huge J-Lo fan, even before that. Aunt Peggy was the J-Lo fan, but, No, I know it. I was just putting my 2 cents in. I understand what you were saying. No, her voice sucks. You're being too nice. Her voice sucks. She stinks. I can't stomach her at all as a singer. Cannot do it. And listen, she's supposed to, and the sad part is she's supposed to cape for her community, but don't hate on the black woman because she's getting something. Don't hate on that. Oh, her voice sucks. Now I have to vehemently disagree with you on that one. Her voice is bad. Her voice sucks. Man, she needs to put that shit down. I'm sorry. I'll disagree with you hard on that one. I don't care. The voice, it sucks. Her ex-husband's voice was good. Mark Anthony is a wonderful singer. J-Lo, not so much. But anyway, I'm about to end this here live stream. This is, for me, it's a little long, but you know, before we know it, I mean, that's your opinion, of course. I've never heard her daughter sing. I've never heard her daughter sing. I cannot speak on that. But, and again, maybe I'm biased because I just can't stand her. So at this stage of the game, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm about to sign out, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for joining me. Thanks so much, Princess, for your input. We need to do this. You know, that'd be pretty cool. we could do one of those live streams. In fact, the next time I do the F Your Feelings live stream, I'm gonna drop the link and open it up to everybody, so everybody can get a chance to have their. You know what? Let me see if I can drop this link. Gosh, I don't know if I'm able to. I have dominated this thing. But I do want to hear other people's opinions. I just dropped the link. So if anybody wants to join, you're more than welcome to do that. First, I was going to sign out, but you know what? I want to hear other people's opinions. Oh, okay. No problem. No problem about that. And be sure to do that, by the way. And listen, I can only speak for myself. As I mentioned earlier, everybody has a right to be exactly who they want to be. Listen, we live in a somewhat free society. Listen, if you don't understand what I mean by that, then you obviously haven't been here very long. But listen, we all have free will, and we all have the right to choose the type of life that we want to live. But when you start disrespecting others because they don't agree with what you're saying, then that's a huge problem. And when you disrespect our women, where we all came out of, the beginning of life, then you really are off your rocker. But again, that's just my opinion. I guess no one has anything else to say. Because again, I have dropped a link in the description. That's the link. If anyone has anything else to say, this is the time to do it, or else say, listen, I'll head on back. I know the missus will be very happy. And I haven't done one of these live streams in a while. And I have to be honest, I'm sort of happy that I've calmed down a little bit, because my earlier live streams, man. And again, to me, this is a different one because it's a dialogue. Yeah, I understand. And listen, it doesn't have to be this topic. It can be any topic you choose. I mean, it doesn't have to be just about that. It could be anything. I certainly will, Princess. You know I will. And again, I'm just so happy that you even join me. And you know what? This is good because, hey, listen, I'm learning something. I don't claim to know everything. And I certainly don't know how to live my life, as part of the LGBTQ plus community. So for me to say, oh, they need to do this, oh, they need to do that. Now, no, I'm not going to do that. But I will say we need to treat our black women with respect. And that goes for anybody, not just that community, but anybody who's just disrespecting them for the sake of disrespecting them is dead wrong. And again, that's not everybody in that community, but there are a certain element in that community that are, just as there are a certain element of so-called heterosexual men that do that. And it's not going to be tolerated, and especially here in this platform, it's not. And listen, there are some women that have to get their act together as well. I mean, we all know this. Nobody's immune to correction, including myself. I don't claim to know everything. There are certain things where I could be wrong about. And once I find out I am wrong, I will make the corrections that are necessary, and I will apologize to whomever that I've offended. Oh, man, I tell you. It's okay. But I guess no one wants to hit the link. Oh, well. I did try to open it up, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems like nobody wants to join in, and maybe that's my fault. I should have done it earlier in the live stream. But thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, Yukio Loves You, a.k.a. Princess. I thank you so much, allegedly. I thank you, Edge Hutchinson, for stopping through. And I thank everybody. Third War Colombian, of course. I would be remiss if I don't give you a shout out. Native Gabite, of course. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please hit the like button on the way out. Uncle Claude signing out. Stay safe. God bless. Be careful, everybody, because it's still crazy out here. And let's face it, unfortunately, you have to be careful, especially when you go out at certain times at night, because I know one thing in this crazy city that I live in, man, these bullets definitely have no direction, let me tell you. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and God bless.